Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to Family Networking, our first one of 2025. Every second Thursday. I know what I'm saying, I just don't know how to talk. Every second Thursday of the month, we're inviting you to come and join us. It's very simple. Just get a hold of me and I will send you the link to fill out and come and join us. Here is, yeah, no, it's not a nice day for a Zach wedding. He's had too many of those. So right there is right there's the form with all of the information that you guys have filled out. So please uh, take a look at that. And if you would like anything amended, let me know what it is, and we will amend it for you. We are going to get started, as always, ladies first. Wendy, please give us a
Yes.
little bit about you. Tell us your story. And then I don't want to do what's your New Year's resolution. What I want to do is a little bit different. What do you want to do to stop people from making a mistake this year?
Ooh.
We're not putting you
Get
on the
my
spot
voice
at all.
heard in as many places as possible so that they do not make any financial mistakes.
That's perfect. Then tell
How
us a
about
little
that?
bit of tell us a little bit about you being the financial lion.
Well, my favorite thing to do is turn my clients into multimillionaires. So I take what little you have and I multiply it exponentially. And it's becoming rather routine now. It used to be like, oh, wow. And now it's like, oh, yeah, that happened. No, just kidding.
Well, I would have to say that's good. What are some of the things that you are that are going to be changing in 2025 that you know of that you're going to try to implement and try to help people with? And are there any changes with the government change that are going to affect that?
Well, in 25, I'm in the process of getting on five major radio station markets with a reach of 37.8 million, I want to say, in Boston, LA, Philadelphia, Chicago, and I want to say Atlanta. So I'm in the process of getting that and getting sponsors for the show. And I hope to be on a national television network by mid-year.
And
So I'm
hopefully,
doing my best to make a positive impact on the world and help as many people as I can.
well, and hopefully we can get this kerfuffle with the email figured out and we can get your form in and you can be joining us in the program and we can finally get your interview that we did. Fantastic job. One of my favorite interviews of all time, but the video was choppy. And so we couldn't use it. It was terrible. It was like,
Yeah, you know
no.
what? When I just did a search for your email for the reply, I saw your email in there to reschedule the interview. So I'll
All
take
right.
care of that after we're done here. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can get that done. Well, Wendy, thank you very much for joining us. Holly, tell us a little bit about you, please, and what are you going to do? Because I know that you've got all kinds of things going on. What are you going to do to try to help people from making giant mistakes this year? As my dog is getting my elbow very wet with his nose.
Well, my name is Holly Miller. I will tell you my biggest strategy for helping people not make mistakes this year is to quit doing these daggone resolutions, you know, to quit um, setting these like big, huge goals in your life, these quote goals, and focusing on things that are out of your control. Okay. So, what I really do, I am a trauma recovery coach, but I work specifically with people in neuroscience and quantum physics to help them reset the programming that they have been given. So, when I look at New Year's resolutions, it's just another societal program that we have been given and told that this is what is the avenue to success. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's a bunch of bullshit. That is not the avenue to success. The avenue to success only you know at your core self. So, in other words, I help people get back to their 3 and 4-year-old self when you didn't care what your hair looked like, you didn't care if your socks were mismatched, and you didn't care if your best friend was green. None of that outside business influenced anything in your thinking. And that's because that's who you truly are. That is when you are present in your true self. And I help people get back there so that they don't have all these infiltrating thoughts telling them who they are. And Zach knows my background. Zach knows my story and why and how I ended up coming across this particular program and getting certified as a specialist in it. And I'll tell you, it's nothing magic. I don't have any specific magic stuff that I can ever give to you because you have everything within you all by yourself. I just help show you how to find it.
Yeah, and Holly, you and Dr. Phil, you guys should really talk. His program is very there's similarities in it. Let me ask you this real quick. Your trauma recovery and the other the deprogramming, how do they work together? And how have you shaped that to work together?
Great question. So my trauma recovery coaching program is a 3-month program and it's 12 weeks. The first 2 sessions is going through the reset. Now, having said that, Zach, every person I have worked with since becoming certified as a reset specialist does not need my full coaching program. They are totally equipped to understanding and resetting all of their trauma with those first 2 sessions. So it has really pretty much rendered my coaching program useless, which is a beautiful thing because if I can teach you tools in 2 90-minute sessions versus having to go through a 3-month weekly program, I can help more people. And it's a lot less expensive to help people in 2 sessions. It's $340 versus my 3-month program, which is $2,000. So it's been a game changer.
Okay. Well, I for some reason I can't believe I've never asked you how you've taken and moved those two into the same place. So, but so well, thank you very much for joining us, Holly. The Santa Papa John. Let's
You want
talk
me to
about what
go?
you've got going on with the Warriors Beacon of Hope, and what are you doing now after your busy night is over?
Oh, it never ends. I gave the elves 2 weeks holidays and they're just coming back and they're starting to enjoy life again. And of course the kids are asking how busy the elves are and they're going, well, they're keeping busy. We don't make toys in one night, folks. It's not happening. It doesn't happen. It's a long, steady procedure to make all these toys for all these children. So yes, Santa Papa John makes a lot of people smile and giggle and laugh. And one of my big ones, it doesn't matter the time of year. Can you imagine me reading a story to your children and I'm saying their names actually in the story? So yes, creating positive, happy, joyful memories for a lot of people. And then there's this one, a totally different website where I am helping our veterans, the Warriors Beacon of Hope. Do you believe there's no national list in this country of services to help our veterans? And then someone said, well, if you're going to go that far, you might as well put meetings on there. And I actually went and searched the other day, Zach, and I said, hey, let's do veteran meetings. Not one meeting popped up. So that tells me you have to be a member of a group, an organization, a fraternal order to find out whether those groups have meetings. Well, that's great if you're sticking in the same spot around St. Louis all year long and you're not going to go traveling and you want to participate in some other different meetings. So let's put together a national list of meetings that's free. And if you have a business that supports veterans, there is a minimal charge to be included in that list. And my goal is to have 1,000 people on that list within 6 months helping our veterans. So let's compile a national list to help our veterans and, firefighters, EMTs, doctors, anybody that requires, not only psychs, but other services to get them through some of their traumatic and stressful lifestyle of their wonderful jobs. Back to you, young man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I know that I will say this right now. Santa took and recorded a great story, including all 7 of my grandkids. So that we played on the 37-hour program, which we got to replay. I believe it was 5 times. So
Is that all?
yeah, we had 4 hours recorded. So or 5
You know,
hours recorded, something like that. So I don't know. It was a long time. Let's put it that way. So, but yeah, Santa did a great job, and you can always go back and look at those if you'd like to hear some examples. Please let me know, and I'll send them to you. So,
thank you, sir.
we've got 2 Philips joining us today. Philip, and is it Sklar? All right, Philip, why don't you go on ahead and give us a little bit about what you're doing, which is in probably of interest to Wendy, and tell us a little bit about you and what are you going to try to do to make sure people don't make a very simple mistake this year.
Sure. So, hi everyone. My name's Phil. It's great to meet and be with you all. So I am a financial representative with Forest Hills Financial Group, and what I am going to do this year to stop people from making mistakes is to try to meet with them early and just get them to realize that time is their greatest asset, and you could really do a lot over the course of, just 1 year. You could really change your whole financial picture if you have that structure put in place.
And please, if anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. I want to make sure that we're all involved in this. But Phil, what is one of the biggest problems that you see that people make? That it's just like, what are you? And I don't want to be mean about this, but it's really kind of one of those things where you sit there and you look and you go, what are you not understanding? This is not correct.
Sure. So, for me, it's we like to focus on savings rate. So a lot of people focus on rate of return, which is great. Obviously need a good rate of return. But as Americans, we are just very poor savers. So even if you could fix in 1 to 2% more into your budget and allocate those funds into investments, that can generate big returns over the lifetime of someone.
Well, that sounds great. Uh, and tell us, Phil, what are some of the things that you like to support? What are some of the things out there that you would like to see some more attention be given to?
Yes, so I like to support a few nonprofits. One in particular is he's a cousin of mine. He runs a foundation that deals with special needs children. He's in the process of opening his first school dealing with special needs children and just helping them with whether it be sports, just education in general. Education is the main focus, but sports and like speech and everything is involved in the school. So I'm a big supporter of that, and he's just doing great work.
Well, that's great to hear. Just to let you know, one of the things that we decided last month that we're going to get started is this month. Of course, we have wonderful programs like Holly's that we raise money for. Holly and I are working together to try to raise money to give women who have went through some of this difficulty, give them grants so they can take her program. So of course you can always, you know, shop with any of our partners and turn that money into, or turn that receipt in to support Holly. But one of the other things that we're doing is we're using the community Dare to Care. We're using the community Dare to Care QR code. And if you turn that in this month, we're going to give it to a nonprofit for trafficking, because we talked a lot about trafficking last month. So if you want to take and look at what the QR codes, what it looks like when you open them up, and how the program works on a mission side, that's a way that you can also look at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Where can I find that, Zach? Community Dare to Care?
I just put it in the chat, Wendy.
Okay.
So in the top one there, I don't know if you all see it, but the top one is the document with everybody's information on it. So please upload that. It is a Google Doc, so it's a, you know, living, breathing document. And I put everybody who's ever been in here on the program. So if there's somebody you would like to get a hold of, please reach out to that. So one of our newest partners and somebody else who took part on the 37 hour, Dr. Phil. How you doing, Doc?
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Doc. What do you do? What is the T-Now method? And what are you wanting to do to make sure people stay away from mistakes this year?
Hi, Phil Agrios. I'm here in New Jersey, and I'm a self-sabotage specialist and a business consultant. I help business owners, executives, and sales professionals stop themselves from self-sabotaging, which is really a self-protection. I was able to discover a inborn trait, a self-sabotaging trait that we're born with, and that actually stops our success. It's that actually you're born with it, and what happens is subconsciously it stops you because that trait, subconsciously it's harder to sustain or achieve that success. So we go back doing what we need to do because it's easier. And when I first found it, I thought it was too simple, so I went out to try to disprove it. And over the last 33 years, researching thousands and thousands of people, not only was able to find it and prove it, we found a way to switch it off instantly, and it works 100% of the time. So when you start to release your personal professional power and you hit that wall, your saboteur kicks in to protect you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not an idiot, or all the other 100 words we say to ourselves. You're just in protection. So when you start to go into that protection, imagine knowing one trait, that's the cause of it. And by using the antidote, you immediately go into growth. And now you're doing this compared to doing this. 100% of the time, and it never fails. So just have fun doing it, working with it. We work with, like I said, business owners, executives, sales professionals. When a person doesn't sell, it's their saboteur stopping them because it's too painful. So we work with also with veterans for PTSD. We work tremendously with that. I'm a government contractor. I became one so that we can help veterans as well, and just have fun doing it. So I left my practice 3 years ago to do this full time.
Yeah. So Holly, was I right? I mean, it sounds pretty close, huh? So yeah, what are you hoping that you're able to do this year to help people from making mistakes?
Oh, mainly to help people to know that there's only one thing to focus on, and that our goal is to help these business owners, executives, as well as family members, teenagers. We have a membership as well. We just launched about a month ago. So I have a group coaching program that I work with these people, and we have a money back guarantee. And our membership, we just launched, so it's a monthly membership, so we can help people at that end of it as well. So our focus is to really just help people to understand something that there's nothing like this in the world, and to get it out to the millions. So this year is now promoting and really blasting it out in publicity. And if Wendy, if you want to get on TV, I have the guy too that you want to connect with me. I'd be happy to connect you with Steve Harrison. He has a summit that you can actually interview with top TV hosts. So if you're
Oh,
interested.
awesome.
Yeah, I'd be happy to let you know about that. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I was just writing you because I love what you do and Holly, and I'd love to have you both on my show because we
Oh,
get
be
rid of
honored.
the mindsets and the self-sabotaging behavior and the limiting beliefs that keep you from enjoying true wealth in every area of your life. So I was just sending you a direct message right now.
Sure.
So
Sounds
yes,
great.
let's definitely connect.
Yeah, be happy to.
And I love both programs. I think both programs are there's a lot of similarities, but I think that they fit together really well. So, well, thank you, Dr. Phil, for joining us. I appreciate it. Alan, Senor, it's been almost 24 hours since we talked.
Okay, yeah, we have to stop meeting like this. Yes,
Well, if we
sir. Yes,
stop meeting
sir.
like this, buddy, we're not going to be meeting anywhere.
I love you, my Zach. How might I be of service, my brother?
So tell us about what you've got going on and tell us what your goal is for this year to help people stopping from making giant mistakes.
Well, first of all, I want to say that I am honored to be a part of this panel. Zach, you have put together some fine folks there. You know, I don't dole out compliments, but as community is the essence of business, and I'm the master connector for building it. Santa Papa, I love you, brother, for putting together that warrior service director as a U.S. Army 13 Bravo. One of my goals is to make sure three groups simultaneously get notice. Veterans of this great country, those with disabilities, physical and mental. My wife has mental illness, but I say mental wellness. And those who are on the path of their financial resistance of fighting each other, the self sabotage. I am a human search engine. I collaborate, connect, and network. This is what I do all day long from 3 a.m. to 8 p.m. Life is too short to reach and forget those who need to be remembered. We always help each other. And Zach, you have been reaching for the bottom of since I met you 4 years ago. You, along with that gentleman over there and Mr. Z over there, he's hanging out with the yellow. You know, I love you all. Southern California is a it's I am no near where the fire is, but my heart goes out to the families because it is something I've had people from Tennessee to New York ask me how I'm doing. I feel honored. And we have to take care of each other because specializing connecting, sometimes it's not about business, sometimes it's about checking in. Anybody knows me, I'm big on. I don't have any children, but my wife and I, but we always make sure the children are okay because I'm coming out there if somebody talks to somebody under 18 or over it, or they treat them wrong, we have that and love the pets. So in whole, I know that's a long answer, but your destiny begins here.com is Mr. Z. He's very humble, but he's responsible for putting that together. He did an excellent job. And I'm looking for resources to put on there so I can blah, blah, blah all over the place. And if anybody knows a individual who has 1 to 5 million, not for myself, but for the Treasure Island, which is a unscripted reality show where we're trying to raise money for, and where one of them is going to be Our Kids USA is a something that I've been part of for probably about a year, and we're trying to raise money because it's going to be kids charities because we got a lot of kids. Straight out of Compton, not a tagline. 13 Bravo, and I'm here to be of service. Please let me know how I can be of service to each and one of you. And God bless you and your families. 2025 is going to rock, and I got you, Zach. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Back to you. Oh, great one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Well, I greatly appreciate it. I know Alan has been a part of the 22-hour podcast for a couple of years now, and so we've got that coming up, which we're very proud of, and we're building it to be even better this year. Mr. Z, finally, we're going to have a networking where you have to talk.
Oh man, that's why I love this group because you are in fact the good Z, and I want to say thank you for having me. And Sergeant Major Allen, thank you for the kind words. It's great people like yourselves that are putting people together. It's not just about business, but catching up. Um, so I want to say it's funny you brought this up about making mistakes, and I've been talking to a few clients about this, and I got a few of these emails as well. It's the peak season for these domain renewals. So if you get any emails in regards to, hey, you're up for renewals for your domain name, check with your web developer or IT person or your hosting company because this is the peak season for those renewals. So don't make that mistake of rushing into renewing those domains that probably doesn't belong to them in the first place. Uh, that's my PSA, or should I say ZSA?
You know, Z, actually, it's kind of funny you said that because I got one that I needed to renew my communitypayitforward.com.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. I didn't know I had communitypayitforward.com. I've always been .us, so I guess I had .com, 4 years ago, but I got rid of that for US. So, but yeah, so that's really good. Z, tell us a little bit more about your other project you've got going on, because it looks like it's kind of the theme that a lot of people have something similar, but yours is a little bit different.
I'm glad you brought that up. As I like to say, the good Z. I've recently started a initiative, and it's called Z World Cares. It's a website that allows nonprofits to accept donations, share their success stories, and just bring awareness to their own nonprofits. And I want to say thank you for allowing me to bring this up with our platform because since we last spoke about this in your platform, I was able to get a few nonprofits on the website. And if you'd like to learn more, definitely become a partner at communitypayforward.us. But also, if you are involved or know someone that's involved with a nonprofit who is looking to accept donations, share their success stories, I encourage you to visit www.zworldcares.org. Why? Because I want to see and I want to show Z World that you care.
I am.
Thank you,
I'm,
I
brother
love
man.
that.
yeah.
Thank
Z,
you.
I have someone I can connect you with. They use AI for nonprofits to have those that have been helped by a nonprofit tell their story.
Of course. Yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
very interested.
let's connect for
Yeah, let's
sure.
reconnect.
Yeah, I'll put my calendar in the chat.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll
Yeah, and
check it
then
out.
Phil, I think that there's a couple people that you ought to introduce your cousin to here, and you should invite him for next month because we love to talk to people with nonprofits. The main goal of our company, Community Pay It Forward, which everybody here is a part of, is to support organizations like your cousin. So I would love to meet him and see what we can do. Every Zach Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, we turn a referral into a helping hand for people out there. We want to see you succeed by helping others. And one of the things that we've got going on is the most important thing that we've got going on. I've mentioned it once or twice, but February 22nd, we have the fourth annual 22-hour podcast. And this podcast was started as a veteran-only thing. 22. They put a lot of money behind that number 22 suicides every day. Unfortunately, that number is way low. It's more than double that number right now for veterans. But did you know that in 2017 there were more suicides by not just first responders, but by the people who call out the emergencies, by dispatchers. There were more suicides by first responders and dispatchers and firefighters and law enforcement than died during duty. And it's something, look, uh, Dr. Phil, Holly, Wendy, when it comes to financial, everybody here knows some reason why we've struggled. Alan, you and your wife, you've dealt with things. We all know why there's a struggle, what we want to do with the 22-hour podcast, and what I'm hoping that all of you take part and take ownership of this is we want to make sure that you bring your stylings to this. What we want to do is we want to never shut up. I say it all the time. Never shut up. Keep talking, because there's somebody out there who needs to hear what you've got to say. You may not know them. They may not know you, but they're out there. They need our help. So let's just tell them what we know. So I would love to have everyone here to be of course, sponsor if you would like, but nothing less than a guest. Come on, tell your story, introduce yourself to people and show these heroes and these people who go out there and they sacrifice parts of their life to make other people's lives better. So
What date is that podcast going to be?
it's on February 22nd of every year. This year it's a Saturday, which is really quite interesting. I don't know how I feel about this, but I know it's actually kind of nice that I'm not going to want to wake up the next morning at 5:30 and go to work like I have the last 3 years. So I actually did. I got off work at midnight, got off the podcast at midnight, and I was still back at work by 5:30 in the morning the next day. Of course, I was hoarse.
Should we all get together and show you what a slap in the head means?
Oh, I've got that. I'm married. You got to remember. So
Well, yeah, no problem.
So, let's do this. Is there anybody? Holly, you and I listened to something in this morning, and I think it was a really, really good bit of advice, and I think it goes along with what you were talking about on the resolutions on planning. Your year's planning or your upcoming planning, to where there's a lot of people who take and they over plan. This is the year I want to make my first million. This is the year I want to do. What is something that you and put a realistic number on it? What is something that you would like to see in the next couple months that you can do? Holly, let's start with you.
Well, the goal setting activity is, for me, it was all about just more connections, being able to connect with more people, because I know from the depth of my soul that if everybody knew the technique that I help teach, this world would be a totally different world. It would look completely different. And so my goal setting is to just have more connections. I'd like to have 5 30-minute new connections every single week, just to have that touch, and help people know that it's out there and have an opportunity to take advantage of it if it's something that they see a benefit to.
Is there anybody in particular you would like to talk to?
Well, I would say my best target audience is, they are women, would be my best target audience. And because I specialize in sexual abuse, I would say women with sexual trauma, and those women that have experienced that trauma. They're plug in my computer before it dies. I specifically would be looking for women that have gone through the therapy, hired the coaches, read the personal development books, schedule the manifestations and affirmations and daily gratitude journaling and all of the things that society has programmed us to do to get better. So they've tried all of these techniques and they're still stuck. They're still in that self-sabotage mode, Dr. Phil, right? And they can't seem to get out of their own way, even though they've done everything. They know what to do. They have the tools. They've hired the people, they've done all the things, but something is keeping them stuck. And it's that messaging, that self sabotage messaging, that subconscious programming that that particular trauma has given you. And so those are my favorite people to work with, because it's amazing what happens. The light bulb moment that happens, that they have always had the power. They've always been in control. And I don't give it to them. They already have it within them. I just help them see it.
Well, again, you can find all of Holly's information on on the uh, on the document, and I would suggest that everybody get together, please, because there are so many good stories in this group right now. So, Wendy, what would be a goal that you would like to just start out and keeping it easy, maybe an easy goal, but something that you see as a good way to get your year started.
To be completely transparent, after I got hit by the truck, I had a terrible, terrible concussion for months, 4.5 months. If Pat Robertson hadn't prayed for me, I might still be in that condition. So what I started doing was playing solitaire cash to wake up my brain and get it going, because you're racing against time and other people and all that kind of stuff. Well, now it's become this horrible habit because I'm getting my dopamine and my adrenaline and my all this terrible stuff. Well, my treadmill is sitting 2 feet away. So my goal is to just break one bad habit and create a good other one. That's one of my main things, that's what came to mind. So
This is just really funny. You know who I got to go to next, right?
who?
Because when he came on the screen, he was walking on his treadmill.
Well, I actually, because I still get a little like woozy a little bit, so I actually have bands that hang above the treadmill. So while I'm on the treadmill, I kind of hold on to those and use that as exercise
Yeah,
as well.
I like to play racquetball, but every once in a while you'll see me falling against the walls and stuff like that because I get that vertigo, and it's also not a lot of fun getting that, little rubber ball smashed in your face because you
Yeah,
can't see it properly. So, yeah.
right.
But all right, Phil, tell us. I'd imagine that the treadmill probably not one of your goals, but what are some goals that you've got?
So actually, I would say it kind of is. My goal is to just stay more active. Whether that be, because I'm sitting around so much.
Mhm.
So I got a walking pad with the standing desk, and in between meetings, or even depends on some meetings, I'm just walking on the treadmill. Sometimes it could be a little distracting, so I try to keep it to certain meetings. But yeah, just to be more active. I love playing pickleball. Racquetball is very fun as well. I play at the gym. But so yeah, just trying to be more active, I think, is one of my more selfish goals.
Dr. Phil, what do you got?
Well, first of Phil, I would suggest it would be one of your self-nourishing goals, not a selfish goal, just to reframe it for you.
Mm.
Um, I don't believe in goals anymore. I believe in promises. So I say this is the promise I'm making because it's more personal. Goal is just it's not connection. When you say this is my promise for 2025, it kind of sets it for. Already everything's been set in place for the last 3 months. Because I set my promises for 2020, the year 3 months prior. So you get things moving, so you know what's going on. So just continuing staying in shape, and hired Steve Harrison, who is he was the publicist that got Kiyosaki going, and Jack Canfield. He was the one that got Jack Canfield on the map. And then I hired a fractional CMO that we're putting everything together so I can take all that marketing off my plate now and focusing on doing what I do best. And then, so yeah, so everything's in place, thank God, and just moving forward. So just continuing every day, just focusing on today and not tomorrow.
It's can't do anything but that, right? So, Alan, what do you got for us, brother?
You don't ask me to follow Dr. Phil. I'm sitting there writing notes like a madman here.
I know, right?
Wow. Yes, anybody knows me. I'm always real raw, uncut, transparent. Last year my identity was stolen, my wife and I, so I guess I'm getting closer to my goal because somebody's borrowing my stuff. And I told him, I said, you're messing with me, but you're messing with the missus. Now we got a problem. But anyway, what I'm doing in 2025 is saying, look, if I can see Dr. Phil, I'm listening to him, when I get the G method, and I start listening to the Indra Allen, and we channel the one pagers for those around me in my circle, I can start blah, blah, blah on everybody. I almost became an actor, didn't work out. And now I'm enjoying the wonderful family networking. So that's number one, getting my goals and our goals. My wife and I, she's looking, and she's the queen. Her birthday is January 22nd, by the way. So that's her. She's an Aquarius. She loves the dogs and the cats and everything. And then part two is to move out of this wonderful place called Southern California, Hemet, or at least the section I am, because I've got to go. Yeah, it's just been, people know my story. And then, of course, my last one, anybody knows I'm a WWE fan. I got to make it to WrestleMania. There's a couple of my great wrestlers, they're retiring, so I have to go see them before I pass out. I must be down there, go mess with Mr. Z, come down at the Barclays Center. But anyway, I'm here to be of service and just doing what I normally do, and collaborating, connecting, networking, and knowing to be of service and humbleness of the service to everyone. Because each one of us has a gift. We've been given this thing called life. We're not a cat. We don't have 9 of them. We only got one. So ride this to the wheels fall off. Mr. Zach, thank you again for having all you beautiful people surrounded by this great thing called life. We love you, brother. And I saw your little doggy over there. I do speak pet. So tell them, and Financial Lion, thank you. I'm looking at your chart here. I am a lion. I'm a Leo. So I am lowing. I am bowing. I am not worthy. I am not worthy. Back to you, Mrs.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not a Leo, but I was blessed with being born with that name. So,
Kurt, welcome, welcome, welcome. Why don't you go on ahead and introduce yourself and then tell us what you would like to do this year to change or to stop somebody from making a mistake.
Stop somebody from making a mistake. All right. So, folks, I'm a podcaster. I do like live streaming, a lot of the stuff that the Pack channel and everything Zach's doing. I like to have my playground for all this kind of stuff too. And so, basically, when you get your fill with Zach on being a guest on his shows, I've got more. If Zach tells you it's a good idea, we'd love to have you. So we do all that. And I'm also an ambassador with Project Die Hard. We're combating veteran suicide by spreading hope to veterans. And we're also working with CARES Foundation that has been featured here at the PAC channel and everything Zach's doing. And so when you talk about what would I like to do to help somebody stop from making a mistake, we also know this Molly Welch who has a second later. And so that's been the conversation of late is things out in traffic and destructive decisions of drinking and driving. And so if I can join Zach and everything we're doing over here on this side of things, on my side of things, and help people, not kill others because of just letting pride get in the way and whatever else. And then also I was just saying about the veterans joining, Zach and Mr. Z and santapapajohn, who has made Project Die Hard Santa approved, which is so darn cool. Yeah, we've got a lot of social mission work that needs done, and yeah, if I can be a part of helping people not make that mistake that either, is an end to their life or the end of a life of another. I used to be an EMT for 10 years, so it's all about life-saving, um, advice and prevention and all that kind of stuff. So thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Molly Walsh's story is one of survival, but she, it's what is the name of her program again, Kurt? One
It's a second later. See,
a
now
second later.
a second later.
Second leg.
Yeah,
It only
yeah,
took a second later.
yeah. And she was, yeah, 1 second changed her life, as 1 second can change your life, but it created many challenges in her life. And if you guys have never met Molly, look up A Second Later. It's one hell of a story, and she is a very brave person, very brilliant person. So, Santa Papa John, what are what would you like to start this year out by doing?
Such a powerful statement, and everybody on here is utilizing it to their best benefit. And that's what we need to do. We need to step up. And, I do a video every day, folks, that I encourage happiness, positivity, cheerfulness. There's too much ugly in this world. And if we share a smile every day, it's going to create the ripple effect. And we're going to create some more happiness in this world. It's not only about creating positive, happy memories, it's about as simple as sharing a smile, sharing some laughter. And we need to do more of that. And that's my goal. And then building this up and helping our veterans. You got the 22-hour mission. That's another big step that I will be, if you'll let me, I will be proud to join you in creating some awareness in February. That's my oldest son's birthday, and that's okay because he'll understand that this is a bigger mission that has to be brought under control. And, communication is the key factor to this. Holly, I got to get a hold of you after because I'm going to make a video for your girls. So, Zach, back to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Pop. Mr. Z.
Of course. Well, besides etching myself out of Santa's naughty list, I'm trying to be a better person while making Z World a better place. But I can't do it alone. With the help of everyone here, like yourself, Captain Kurt, Holly, Wendy, Sergeant Major Allen, Dr. Phil, Santa, of course, the good Z Zach, we just need to come together and just show the world that we care, and just connecting with each and one of you that increases that chance by at least 1% or more.
Yeah. For what we were talking about on this last little area, or what are a couple small things that you would like to get started with to get this year off to a good start?
Well, just being here, it's a good starting point. You're putting this all together. And I know Sergeant Major Allen always mentions this. It's not about me, it's about we. And if we work as a team, as a platoon to support our veterans, help those who are survivors of human trafficking, helping those who tend to self-sabotage and talk themselves out of doing something that they were meant to do, this is a great platform to remind us that we can go farther ourselves, but we can go further with others, or faster ourselves, but further with others. And this is a platform that allows us to not only come together as a community, but be better than we were yesterday or 5 seconds ago. And just being here just proves that we can do it because you're making it happen.
Well,
We're all making it happen.
yeah,
Excuse me.
we're all making it happen. So one last thing, and then I'd like to ask, does anybody have any questions for anybody right now? Okay. Holly, how can people reach out to you? What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Well, I would say the best way to reach out would be to just schedule a 30-minute chat with me, and let's see what we can do to help each other, and see what type of fit goes where, and just being able to connect with people. So I think a 30-minute chat would probably be the easiest. Do you want us to put like our information in?
If you want to put your calendar in the chat, that would be great. But again, you can get all this information off the document if you download, and everybody can download that document. But yeah, if you want to put your calendar in the chat, that's perfectly fine. So, Alan, you raised your hand. You had a question for someone.
Well, I just wanted to I wanted to let you know, with your permission. I already did. Now apologize. The notions PDF that I put in there. There is a U.S. Marine. It's a software that is no cost. So I wanted to shout it out to him, and also to let you know, I neglected to say I will be there. I've got your 6 on the 22nd of February.
Well, that sounds great. By the way, everybody, if you want any more information about that, right there is the link. You can learn more about the 22-hour podcast. That's one great way that you can support. We are looking for people who have served this country in any manner, first responders, uh, of course, our veterans, law enforcement. Look, if they go to work every day and they risk their lives, if they go to work every day and their lives can be affected, in my eyes, you're a hero. And we're losing way too many of them because things are a little confusing out there. So have them reach out to us. We are looking. One of the people that we will be raising money for this year is a current serving officer in Colorado Springs who has a daughter who's confined to a wheelchair, and she needs to get a wheelchair ramp and their front door widened. So that is one of the people that we will be raising money for this year. So please make sure that you share out all of this information. And the best way to put this is just ask people. I'm on there for 22 hours. We're asking people just to dedicate 22 minutes to watching that day, because you're going to hear a story that means a lot to somebody because they're going to be there to say it. So please feel free to join us in any way possible. Wendy, what's the best outlet for people to reach out to you?
I put my calendar link in the chat. That's probably the best way. I really like to meet with people face to face and get to know them. I think that forms a relationship and a bond so much faster. I will put my phone number in the chat so you can text me anytime. I'll do that as well.
Okay.
I'll do that right now.
And everyone here is on LinkedIn, correct?
Yes.
So, yeah, I think
I am, yeah.
I think we can all get together on LinkedIn as well. But this will be playing on LinkedIn. This will be shown again later tonight on LinkedIn, just to let everybody know that. So, Philip, how can people best get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I would say through LinkedIn. But then also, I would love to meet with all of you one-on-one just to learn more about what you guys are doing behind the scenes.
Well, I want to thank you so very much for making this your first time here. Another first timer is Dr. Phil. Thank you very much. And once again, Dr. Phil just signed a contract with us, so he's with us, and very happy to have you on board. So
Thank you. Yeah, I put you can go to drphilchat.com, or I'm all on social media, LinkedIn, whatever, and be happy to connect and love to have a conversation to see what connections I can give you. Mr. Z, I have somebody that might be able to give nonprofits 10 or more people, at least possibly $2,000 per company per employee. And you can get $2 of affiliate. It's a lot. So those of have a client of mine. So, but I would love to see how I connect to you guys, whatever you need. I know a lot of people, so whatever I can do to help you guys, I'll be happy to do so.
Kurt, how's the best way for people to get a hold of you, my friend?
Well, I would say I invite calling and texting 262-372-1754 and email away at, with Kurt, Kurt, at spiritofthegame.org. And my handle on LinkedIn is Hey Kurt, linkedin.com/in/Hey Kurt, HEYKURT.
That's, that's just so you. It really is. Hey, Kurt. So, but Alan, how can we get a hold of you, my brother?
Well, I don't have your IP addresses. I am your human search engine. No, I actually have no card. Mr. Kurt is responsible for that. Or somebody told me, a little birdie, yourdestinybeginshere.com, Mr. Z's.
Now, stop muting yourself.
See, new computer.
Yeah, you get a real computer, and look at this. You're muting yourself now.
Okay, where was I in my script? I didn't lost my train of thought. No, kidding.
And he did it again.
And he did it again.
Okay, one more time. This is what he said. I was almost in Hollywood, take 3. I put it in the chat. So no card, LinkedIn, or the wonderful Your Destiny Begins Here. Or I'm somewhere in California. You just have to like this. I'm here. And I promise I won't move yourself. Back to you, sir.
And Alan, just keep doing this, okay? Just keep doing this. I'm not touching any buttons. So
keep me out of the studio. Kurt,
santapapajohn, how do we get a hold of you, my friend?
Well, santapapajohn.com, or I just put my contact information in. I'm all over LinkedIn. I'm all over all the social media, so you can find me at santapapajohn or my real name, which is John Rustobutko. And yeah, it's a long name, but at least I know there's only 7 people in the country with my last name. So,
Mr. Z, how do we get a hold of you?
Well, if I may, I want to say thank you, Wendy and Dr. Phil, for your consideration for the referrals, and of course, Sergeant Major Allen. If you'd like to get a hold of me, feel free to visit communitypayitforward.us/zworldwebs or scan the shiny new QR code. I almost said ZR code. QR code. I promise you won't get zapped. I promise.
I actually kind of like ZR code. Maybe we need to work on that next to ZR code. So do something different, right?
So, absolutely.
Hey, I want to thank every single one of you guys for coming on again this month, and we will be back next month at the same time. I hope that you join us again next month, and let's make sure that, mutiny, that's real cute there, Kurt. Oh, man. So I hope that you guys are able to join us next month. Please, if you're out there and you run a business, if you run a nonprofit, or if you're looking for a new career path, maybe you're looking for a job or something, come on in, because as you can see, we've got 9 people here who know other people. Maybe they can help you find a job. We're all coming together to try to make lives better. So come and join us next month. And please remember, love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. My name is Zach Clayton. Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. Thank you all very much.
All right. Save the chat.